Here's the retirement planning mistake that's costing crores to NRIs who are planning to retire and return back to India. You've probably heard the old thumb rules like you should have 25 times of your annual expenses, or you should have a withdrawal rate of 4% on your entire corpus. But here's what nobody's telling you. These formulas were created for Americans with completely different financial systems. When you blindly apply these thumb rules to India, you could end up short by at least 40-50% of the actual needed money. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact method we use for our NRI clients who plan to return back to India and retire here. These calculations are very personalized for their retirement corpuses and income needs. I'll cover why these popular thumb rules fail and the hidden facts why most people are ignorant about, and the exact step-by-step formula that you need to follow to figure out how much money is required for you to retire. By the end, you will have a very clear understanding of how do we calculate these goals and where do people go wrong. But before I jump to the screen, one needs to understand what makes retirement planning in India uniquely challenging. Unlike other Western countries with very robust pension systems and social security, in India, we are mostly on our own. All the monthly pension or passive income has to come from our own savings. But there's another hidden factor, which is the distribution phase problem. Now, during your working years, you focus on growth. So you hear about mutual funds giving 15% returns, investing into stocks, properties, and you factor in these numbers while planning your retirement corpuses. I see many YouTube videos also talking about growing your money at 12% and then withdrawing 4%. Now, the moment you retire, your entire risk profile changes. You can't put all your money into equity and hope for the best. You need stability, you need regular income, you need things like capital preservation. That means once you retire, your entire return on the portfolio drops to somewhere around 7 to 9%. And this is what most financial advisors don't emphasize on. They'll help you accumulate wealth, but they won't prepare you psychologically and for also the mathematics that comes with spending that wealth. So from our perspective, retirement planning is divided into two phases. First is your accumulation phase and the second is a distribution phase. And there are main three factors that we consider while calculating your retirement corpuses. The first is your life expectancy and the legacy that you want to leave behind. Secondly, what is going to be the inflation in the accumulation phase of retirement and in the distribution phase of retirement. And the third and the most important thing is what will be your asset allocation and risk profile before retiring and after retiring. So let me take you through my screen and show you my own retirement goal and how do I make these calculations for myself. So as you can see on the screen, this is my own financial plan. And if you see for retirement planning, I have made a separate goal. Now in this goal, if you see, my income needs are correctly entered. For me, if I was supposed to retire today, I would need at least 2 lakh rupees. Why? Because that 2 lakh rupees will not only take care of my survival, but also for my luxury and leisure expenses. And one thing which everybody should remember is when we are planning for retirement income, we don't want to make fresh investments from this income. So one thing has to be made sure is all our other financial goals are taken care of before actually retiring. Also, second assumption here is that I have my own house and I don't have any mortgages and EMIs to be paid. If in your case you need to make some recurring payments after retirement also, you need to increase this income requirement. So coming to my case, my monthly requirement if I was supposed to retire today is 2 lakh rupees. When am I retiring? Like I told you, you have to consider your retirement age and life expectancy. So in my case, I have assumed that I am going to retire in 2038 and I am going to be alive by 2078. So my post-retirement lifespan is almost 40 years. Now in this case, we need to understand what corpus do I need in 2038 so that I'll be able to withdraw 2 lakh rupees inflation adjusted for the rest of my life till me or my spouse is alive. So if I take you to the next steps, like I clearly mentioned, you have to understand what inflation and what returns are you assuming. I am assuming a standard 6% inflation for this calculation, but we can always reduce and increase this number to see which scenarios are getting easily achieved in our case. So in my case, I am assuming a 6% inflation throughout my entire retirement phase, accumulation as well as distribution. The most important thing and the thing where most people go wrong is the asset allocation. Now, if you see, before retirement, I am having active income and I can be very aggressive with my investments. So I can put 100% of my money into equity-oriented investments. So my pre-retirement phase is 100% equity. But that will not be the case once I retire. Once I retire, I will need at least a predictable income and fixed income exposure for at least 10 years of my retirement income phase, and any money required after 10 years can be put into riskier investments. So for me, and given my risk appetite, I am assuming that I can follow a 50-50 asset allocation, 50% money into fixed income, bonds, FDs, and the remaining 50% goes into equity. So in this case, if I save and see my goal, a total corpus of 16.5 crores will be required in 2038 to be able to achieve this goal. How do I come at that value? Now, 2 lakh rupees today means almost 24-26 lakh rupees per annum. But when I actually retire, if you adjust inflation to this income goes to almost 57 or 60 lakh rupees. And this income has to increase by inflation every year. So to be able to achieve this goal in a 40-year income process, I need to be having 16.5 crores with me, not today, in 2038. That means if I invest just almost 2.8 or 3 crores today for this goal, or I do a monthly investment of 3.5 to 4 lakh rupees, in next 13 years, I'll have enough money to retire comfortably. Now, what if I'm not able to invest this higher money? And what if I also tell myself that, Alok, you can take slightly more risk after retirement. Why do you have to be so conservative? So in that case, I can go and change my asset allocation, and instead of making it a 50-50, maybe I'll have 70% money into equity and only 30% money into fixed deposits and bonds. In that case, the corpus required for me reduces from 16.5 crores to almost 13 crores, right? And the investment required goes down from 3 crores to almost 2 crores and 3.5 lakh rupees per month to 2.5 lakh rupees per month. So now I know if I keep my portfolio slightly aggressive after retirement, I am very comfortable to do, and I need to only achieve 13 crores for this goal. And if I have more than 13 crores, that means I can reduce my risk appetite after retirement. And this is not pure maths that we have to look into. This number will always keep on changing and improving, and we need to fine tune these numbers as your retirement comes near. So the whole purpose of making this video is for you to understand there is no fixed number that you need to achieve for your retirement, like 10 crore, 15 crore. It will all come down to what risk can you take before retirement, what risk can you take after retirement, and then build certain scenarios in what kind of risk profile and income is getting achieved, and what thing you are not able to achieve, and can you actually make more investments to be able to reach there. This also gives me an idea, okay, what if I'm not able to achieve my goal? Then instead of 2 lakhs, can I just survive in 1.5 lakhs? Maybe I have to compromise on a few lifestyle expenses, but that's fine, right? I need to understand what minimum income I'll be able to withdraw with my savings and my current risk appetite, and what is the maximum that I can withdraw. So somebody who wants to retire in 2038 can have between 10 crores to 16 crores, and then based on his corpus and risk appetite, we can design what kind of income should he be receiving. So if you see about the mistakes, the biggest mistake is using accumulation phase returns for retirement planning, which is like 12% on a mutual fund, which will not continue and after the distribution phase starts. Secondly, you need to understand that every retirement plan is personal. Now you can calculate your retirement corpus accurately depending on your income needs, and that's exactly what we do for our clients also. You need to understand your risk appetite, your life situations, and then design your corpus. You need to create a systematic investment plan focusing on equity more during the retirement and gradually shifting to safer assets as your retirement approaches. And most importantly, you should always keep on reviewing your plan depending on your life changes, your strategies that you need to adapt to. And also remember that retirement planning isn't about reaching any magical number that you might find online. It's about being very creative and very flexible with your system, and make sure that you never run out of your money while also maintaining your lifestyle. So if you found this video helpful, check out my next video where I break down an exact strategy of how do I build this corpus. So stay tuned to my channel, join my WhatsApp community which is meant for NRIs only, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.